Hello, Internet. I'm Evan Dashevsky, features editor with PCMag.com. Welcome to the Convo. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about sports of a sort. Okay, so competitive video gaming, i.e. eSports, has become a multi-billion-dollar global enterprise complete with big money paydays, professional teams, and even lucrative sponsorships and maybe even groupies?
Depends.
We'll see. Okay, to learn more about that, I'm glad to welcome a guest who traveled all the way from across the office to be here.
Yes.
He is a senior analyst here at PCMag, but more importantly, he's the author of a fantastic cover story of the last edition of PCMag's digital edition entitled How I Learned to Stop Hating and Love Esports. It's also up on the website right now. Pete's going to give you all the links. But Jeff Wilson, welcome to the Convo.
Oh, thank you for having me. I walked an entire 20 feet to be here.
Thank you this was a real get. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
This is gonna be cool. This
it's like
is
Neil deGrasse Tyson, me. It's
the two pillars
deal.
of the world, maybe. Okay, now for those of you at home, the show is called The Convo, not The Dialogue. So if you have any questions, ask them in the comments, and Social Pete will read them off throughout the show. If you're watching after the fact or listening to the podcast, and you still have questions or comments about esports, bother him on Twitter, I guess?
Tweet me.
Tweet him up. What's your Twitter address?
At Jeffrey O. Wilson.
Yeah. He loves to hear
I'm
from
verified,
random
by the way.
Oh, yeah. He loves to hear from random strangers who have opinions about anything. And he will respond to all of them.
Slide into my DMs, please.
Yeah, anything you can send him, go for it. Okay, so before we get started,
Yes.
there was a cartoon called The Far Side that was very beloved through the 80s and 90s. Now, they could have predicted the rise of esports.
How's that?
Pete, do we have that cartoon? We're going to put that up. Now, they can still hear us while we're looking at it. Now, just what we're looking at is it's a Far Side cartoon where there's two helpful parents looking at their kid playing video games intently, and there's all these job applications for these big money payouts for playing sports. Now, that was, I guess, a joke of a kind, saying like this is like, something that's not really going to happen. But it kind of did happen.
It kind of did happen.
You can make a lot of money being really good at video games. So tell us what's going on here.
Well, to be fair, for my piece, I interviewed esports athletes.
Yes.
Athletes. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. An esports athlete, we interviewed heads of different organizations.
Yep.
And they wouldn't talk about the money. But there are esports players who are full time.
Yeah.
So they're making significant amounts to live off of.
Right.
Which is something that I never would have dreamed of back in like 87 or 88.
Because they're doing it from winning these prizes that like the video game companies kind of put on these tournaments of sorts and other people, and then you can win if you're really good. You win and you win a lot of money, but they're also getting sponsored. It's kind of like NASCAR where they might be like wearing like the sponsorships all over.
Right, you'll see like a guy with like a jersey with all kinds of like badges all over his shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
But there are teams, there are individual players, there are big sponsors, there are smaller tournaments, so there's different avenues for this esports money.
Facebook, you have a question.
Is ARMS an esport, or is it just called ARMS?
Factually, both. It's an esport. It's also just called ARMS. So
what is that? I'm sorry.
ARMS is a fight. It's a fighting game. I believe we have it over here somewhere.
Okay.
It's fresh for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
It's an arena fighter. And you have arms. And you stretch them. You punch someone.
Sure. Well, one of us here on screen has much more video game knowledge than the other. I'm not going to tell you who. Try to figure it out yourself. Okay. So, but when you started writing this, you were kind of a should we say a hater of esports, or you didn't really understand it, perhaps?
Well, a lot of hate comes out of just pure jealousy sometimes,
envy.
I grew up playing video games in an arcade, and as a result of that, I did not get paid besides hustling people. But over the 20 plus years since then, sponsors have gotten in, and people like me who dreamed of that were kind of left out. So I was a little standoffish at first.
I mean, you've seen King of Kong, so there's always been kind of competitive gaming, but this is just taking it to a new level recently, where you can do this full time. Now, I just want to read a quote from your piece. Okay. I noticed the pattern while investigating the world of gamers and cash prizes. Almost all of the major names are in their 20s and 30s. As a 40-something who would have done heinous things to become a salaried video game player, I began to wonder if I had missed the boat. Hal assured me, that's the doctor he talked to, assured me that it's never too late to become an esports player. Therefore, I considered his word to be law. I mean, here's the interesting thing is that, like, you could be a professional golfer because it's not very physically taxing, or not. So you could do that like well into your 60s and 70s.
and Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, exactly. But video game playing, it takes a certain physical prowess, but probably not the most. It's not going to be exactly taxing on your body. Is this something?
Oh, that's not true.
Okay, we'll get to that. But like, I imagine someone in their who's older, say in their 40s, 50s, 60s, as the video game generation gets older, there can still be people playing this sort of thing.
Yeah, they could definitely. Yeah. There definitely is a few older people who are in.
When we're saying older, we're saying.
I'm saying like my age, like, like
40s.
Late 30s to like mid 40s.
Okay.
Like Alex Valle out west, he's big in the FGC.
With the what?
The fighting game community.
Okay.
The FGC. For the in crowd.
Yeah.
He's a bit of an older gentleman. He's like in his early to mid 40s, I believe. He's not the great as he used to be.
Okay.
But he's still a viable contender in any tournament. But there aren't too many.
Yeah.
Middle-aged.
But that's also just because video games. I think you and me, we're not so far apart in age. It's like grew up playing Nintendo, but then we got jobs and things.
Right.
So
life circumstances. Right. You have jobs, you have spouses, kids. So video games got pushed to the side. If you weren't one who came up thinking that I can get into this.
Facebook, you have a question.
What's more lucrative, esports or flipping Supreme TVs?
It depends how much work you want to put into it and if you have a bot or not. I would say flipping Supreme Tees. The thirst is real.
I don't know what that means. It sounds great, though.
You don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
It's awful.
Okay, so let's also talk about like these different things. There's cheating going on.
Adderall.
What?
Adderall.
Yes. So there's drugging. They have to do drug tests.
Yes.
I mean, there's also people like who are playing. You said like 14, 15, 16 hours a day to practice. Okay. Well, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Can you take the skills, if you get really good at, say, fighting games, can you usually take that skills to shooting games? Or is it you have to... No.
Different muscle memory, different type of genre. Like, for example, I'm decent at fighting games.
Okay.
But I can't play a first-person shooter because with the camera moves, I get a little motion sick.
Okay.
But even so, just control-wise... sticks versus maybe a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
That's a hard swing. So one skill isn't, translates directly to another skill.
Right.
So
now let's also look at this photo here. You took this photo?
No, this is a press shot, but I was there.
Okay, what is this? What are we looking at?
This is the Barclays Center. This is for the Counter-Strike Go tournament.
There are lots of people here.
Yes.
Lots of spectators watching other people play video games.
Yes.
Now, I'm as someone who's kind of played Nintendo growing up, but there's actually people like watching other people play video games. This is a thing that's happened. So tell me about the spectator experience. People are watching these tournaments on TV, on Twitch.
Right.
Yeah.
You can also say it started with Twitch.
Yeah.
That's
are you a Twitcher?
I don't Twitch, but I do view some things on Twitch.
Gotcha.
I don't stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the FGC, the fighting game community, was birthed out of there. Halo 5 tournaments are there. And the audience there grew so much that, big companies say, hey, why don't we try to expand this into the actual real world?
Right.
And so you have the Barclays Center, you have dedicated esports arenas out in California. So there's definitely an audience because people start selling out.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a thirst for this kind of spectator sport.
Facebook, you have a question.
Do you ever feel like there's going to be a, say, mainstream TV network just devoted to esports?
Oh, you mean like 24/7?
It's ESPN eSports?
Yeah, ESPN eSports. The Ocho, it's probably coming. It's probably coming. Right now you can watch esports. ESPN2, they show the Evo fighting game tournaments.
Okay.
TBS has another fighting game tournament. And actually, ESPN shows Madden tournaments occasionally.
Okay.
So
people love their Madden.
People love Madden.
So so you have to be. There's the sports kind of like the NBA partnered with their own NBA 2K league.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's another question. So if you're really good at NBA 2K, probably not good at fighting games. It's a specific skill set.
The skill set probably won't translate, but I mean.
Yeah, maybe to soccer.
But if you get good, you can be good at everything.
Yeah. So even like the professional sports leagues are kind of partnering with these professional virtual sports leagues.
Right.
And then there's like celebrities who are like owning their own teams or like their own basketball.
Like Rick Fox.
Let's talk about the professional teams. Okay.
Right.
So there are professional teams for these different leagues. Sometimes owned by the players in the leagues themselves, and then they compete where?
I'm not sure where to compete yet. It hasn't started yet. Like the NBA case, that launches in 2018.
Okay.
Where they're going to invest money into their own teams that are going to play NBA 2K professionally.
So wait, the players, the real basketball players?
I assume the owners, the team owners are investing, like the New York Knicks owner.
But they'll find good video game players.
To play for their New York Knicks.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
And then that will be something televised on Twitch or somewhere that people watch that. That's amazing and weird. So what's your favorite video game? What are you good at?
My favorite, like eSports worthy game?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm learning Tekken 7, which I'm enjoying a lot. I'll get bodied easily by anyone who has played for a while.
Yeah.
Pretty decent at Street Fighter 5.
Okay. But actually, that's an interesting term. Esports worthy. What is esports worthy? What is not? Because you could do it with Candy Crush.
No.
I don't know how interesting it would be. But
at Evo this year, in a couple of weeks, actually, there's going to be a Puyo Puyo Tetris tournament.
Okay. Yeah,
so, if you could turn Tetris into a competitive game that's spectacle and there's audiences coming, almost anything can be esports as long as it's that kind of head-to-head competition.
Right. Okay, how does someone get started in esports? Let's give advice to the youth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say, how old is this person?
12.
12.
Yeah. We have a lot of 12-year-olds watching in the middle of the day on a Monday.
I would tell little Susie to find a competitive game that she likes.
Okay.
And just keep playing. You know, her siblings, next door neighbors.
Don't go play outside.
Outside?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
No, sunlight destroys your hands. What are you talking about? And look for local tournaments.
Right.
I mean, it is a bit biased in that they're mostly in larger cities for the most part.
Yeah.
But if little Susie can, afford some little travel expenses and get to a tournament, it could come back.
Yeah. Facebook, you have a question.
What game do you think you could go pro in?
That I could go pro in. Probably 0. I know my limitations. I like to go pro in Tekken, but I just started playing that. So.
Well, let's also talk about this is a global phenomenon. That's actually probably, would you say, bigger in Asia, or?
I think Asia kind of kickstarted with
StarCraft.
With StarCraft,
yeah, which is basically a large percentage of the South Korean economy is StarCraft.
StarCraft is huge.
Yeah.
But I think that esports has shifted a bit to games that are easier for casual people to jump in, look at, understand.
Yeah.
With StarCraft, there's a lot of things going on. It's a strategy game. But with a lot of things happening, you may not get the kind of the subtle details about. But with Street Fighter, for example, there are 2 characters. There are 2 life bars, and when someone punches the other character, their life depletes.
Right.
You kind of get that almost immediately.
Yeah.
So I think esports has moved towards that direction where the more popular games are the ones that are easy for the common person to get into.
Yeah. Well, let's also talk about is there an upper limit to how good you can get at any game once they stop adding more moves, they stop adding more characters? Because if you were really good at say Super Mario Brothers, there's only so good you could get. There's only so fast you could really kind of defeat a board. But once a character, once you get so good, there's probably less variability of strategy and things like that. Or perhaps am I off the mark here?
Well, I think if you're that good and you're competing, you're just going to keep winning tournaments.
Right.
And for that, the incentive is just getting more cash.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
I think after a while, the bragging rights are like, sure, I'm good, but you're playing video games for a living.
Sure,
it's a good life.
I mean, how many if you had to guess, how many people do you think are professional video game players out there?
Oh,
dozens.
You mean full time?
Full time, or making enough money that they don't have to have a job.
Well, there are several teams. There's like Echo Fox, and there are a few others that.
Echo Fox that's an actual game, or
Echo Fox is an esports team. It's an organization,
right.
And they field teams in different games.
Okay, so it's like a total league. Would that be correct to say?
It's more of, let's say, like a pro sports organization that happens to have teams in multiple sports.
Okay.
They have their own jerseys, and their people are full time.
Okay, and they compete at tournaments.
Tournaments.
So they're like salaried.
Salaried, yes.
Salaried
video game
players making a 401k, making that health insurance.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah. But they're
what's health insurance?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. But they have it's a job, which is crazy and cool. All right. So if you have any more questions come up, pop them in. But now every
can 1 second. Can I build upon that for a second?
Oh, please do. Yeah.
It's a full-time job. They pour a lot of hours into those tournaments.
Yes.
And they pour a lot of hours into practicing also. And some even they'll train others for a fee.
Okay.
So they'll be like, hey, hop on my Twitch channel. We'll play. We'll broadcast to the world for like, I don't know, $100, I'll teach you. I'll give you an hour of how to play.
Well, I remember, was it about a year ago? I'm a big Lupe Fiasco fan. I remember he was like tweeting that he's a big video game watcher and player, but he got to play his hero in
Daigo in Street Fighter V.
Okay. Who is this person that he played?
Daigo is considered like one of the Mount Rushmore people of Street Fighter. Okay. Great competitor for years.
Yeah.
And by some, miraculously and some shenanigans perhaps, Daigo beat him.
Sure.
And there was a moment like in esports history. Daigo went down to this.
Lupe Fiasco beat him.
Oh yeah. Lupe beat Daigo. Yeah. Right? And that was
so like if you were like a really good at a game, do you think you have a chance to actually beat the Mount Rushmore of that sport? Or?
Yeah, that's me personally.
Yeah.
No, that's not happening.
Okay.
It's too late for me.
No, but it was just like that Lupe Fiasco. First of all, they considered him a hero, and he's a big rapper, and that was just an amazing.
There was some shenanigans afoot, though.
What does that mean?
Well, it was supposed to be like a best of 5.
Okay.
And then after Daigo got like 3 wins, it suddenly became best.
I'm
sorry, it's like best of 7 and became best of 5 after he got 3 wins. So.
Okay. Weird.
And I think he's on the soundtrack, I believe, for Street Fighter 5, something like that.
Oh, Lupe is?
I believe so.
Okay,
so there was some cross promotion, some synergies.
That's a little weird. Okay, so
I'm probably all wrong. Tell me I'm all wrong on Twitter, please.
Facebook, you got a question.
What game that hasn't come out yet do you think is going to be a big esport?
Oh, that hasn't come out yet. Ooh, what's coming out yet? Next year, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Of course, all the sports games.
Sure.
All the updates to the NBA and the NHL games. Anything that has like 2 players, at least 2 players, and it can be broadcast, will have some sort of community. Like even smaller games that aren't super popular, they have community and cash prizes. So if you like a game that's competitive, you want to get into esports, find one that works for you and just hunt down communities and other players.
In the last few years, we've seen a lot of like retro games coming back, a lot of nostalgia with like the NES Classic and all that, and I think Sega has their own system and all that.
Atari's coming back?
Atari's coming back. Do you think there is going to be room for more competitive for these retro like 90s style games?
Well, if you go to like PAX or anything, like they have speed run competitions or like Mario Kart tournaments. So that's always been there, but it's not like one of those high profile things. But those have always existed.
Gotcha. Very cool. Okay, so every episode we ask the same 10 questions.
10
questions. This is a speed round.
Round. This is like an esport almost.
It is almost like an esport. Yeah. This is the first esport. Let's just go with that. Okay. Windows or Mac?
Windows 10.
Windows 10, my friend. Okay. Android or iOS?
Android.
All right. Have you recently come across a piece of technology that made you think, wow, I'm really living in the future?
Yes, all those smart speakers, which are frightening to me.
So like Alexa and all that?
Yes.
They weren't, though.
I had one that would trigger. The light would come on without me saying anything.
Oh, yes, that does happen.
So I ditched mine.
Facebook, you have a question.
Nike or Adidas?
Okay, is this...
well, thank you.
I think I know who this is. Yeah.
I mean, there you go. These are the NMDs.
Yeah.
They're pretty nice.
Yeah. I'll get a little on there, too.
Yeah, let's just straddle this.
My shoes suck, but the socks are cool.
There we go.
But I just want to talk about the speakers for a second. It's like I think we're old enough to remember when kind of like the transcription technology really sucked. That's really come along. That like there used to be all the computer programs that you could, in theory, like not type. You could just like talk and they'll transcribe, and they were horrible.
They were pretty bad
for decades. But they just in the last 3 years really come along. When you are waiting in line at the store, what is the first app you open on your phone to pass the time?
To pass the time, I like to go within myself and find my own thoughts.
Yeah. Weird. You go analog.
I mean, we have brains for thousands of years of history. So.
They got us this far, I guess.
Yeah, that work.
Ed Snowden, traitor or hero?
Yeah, not answering that one.
Okay.
It's too deep for a hot take.
Yes. It's more than the lightning round should really have, but we'll still keep asking it. Will the singularity occur in 2054?
It will happen January 1st.
2054.
No.
Of this year.
2018. Yes.
I like
my
that.
prediction.
Okay, we'll come back January 2nd. We'll do a follow-up. Is there intelligent life out there in the universe?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, we're here.
We are here.
We're semi-intelligent.
We're getting there.
Like monkey brain and wizard brain and all that.
Is Bigfoot out there?
He is in your imagination.
Okay. Yeah, so he's in here, not out there.
He's in here. Yeah. You gotta look inside to find Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is always with us.
Yeah.
What is your go-to drink at the bar?
Oh, old-fashioned, if I can find a good one in New York City.
Yep. Okay, and then finally, we're in the golden age of television.
Yes.
What are you watching these days?
Oh, you mean actual television or like Netflix?
No, Netflix. Yeah.
Oh, I just finished watching. I just finished watching something recently. It didn't stick with me, I guess. Yeah, it was on Netflix.
House of Cards?
No.
What happened?
The last great show that I watched was Stranger Things.
Stranger Things was great. Coming back soon.
Come back in October.
Coming back in October.
I believe so.
That's late. Okay, yeah. But let's figure it out. We're going to figure out the show that you just finished.
Yes.
What happened? Give me characters.
It was a guy. He did some things, and then the show ended.
Yeah. Crime, supernatural.
It was no, maybe
historical.
No, it was Luke Cage, I think.
Luke Cage.
I think it was Luke Cage.
Okay, he did do some things.
He did some things. Yeah. There was some crime involved, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we could work together to figure that out. So Luke Cage gets the Jeff Wilson seal of approval. Jeff, thank you so much for doing this. This was amazing. Now the story is called "How I Learned to Stop Hating and Love eSports." Pete will give you the link. It is amazing. It's actually a really great story. Please check that out.
Thank you.
Also, it is the cover story of the last issue of the digital edition, which I'm sure I'm going to be told to tell you all that you can subscribe to on Android or on Apple, and you can read on your tablets or on your phones. There's a lot of original content. We also, we'll have some stuff that's on PCMag that you might have missed, but that's where a lot of original stuff comes first. A lot of great cover stories that we do, like those are like the big deep dives. That's where you can get them. So do be sure to check those out. For anybody who's watching for the first time, give us a like, give us a share on the Convo on this. We appreciate those. Check out some of our past interviews. We've done a lot of these.
Like who did you interview? Did you have Blossom in here?
We did have Blossom in here. Or better known as Dr. Amy Fowler from TV's The Big Bang Theory. She was lovely, but not as lovely as you.
Well,
no, thank you. And we have some really cool guests coming up. I can't talk about yet, but they're coming.
I'm coming back. That's what it is.
He will be here every week. We're going to lie and tell you other people will be here, and then Jeff will be here talking about esports. So we're also on audio podcast. Blah 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 blah. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to Social Pete. Thanks to producer Will Weston, whatever your name is, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Be good to each other. Peace.